What's going on, people? Welcome to DR Sports and welcome to the weekend preview show. The international break's over, man. You lot can start smiling again. You can start celebrating again like these guys next to me are doing, because it is time to get back to business. It's time to get back to club football. So welcome to DR. Make sure you smash a like on the video and get subscribing to DR Sports if you haven't done so already. We really mean that. And we want all you guys to be involved. We're going to be previewing all the weekends coming games. Listen, there are some serious games. It's not until it gets back after international break you start going, oh, hold on a minute.
Taste it.
The table might look a bit different after this round of fixtures. So there's a lot of games. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by Fair Play. Fair Play is an app that allows you to place real money bets against your mates without the need for cash. You can bet on whatever you choose. Bet with your mate on FIFA, a golf match, how many pints you might be able to down if that's what you're into. Anything. You can make the rules and you're in control of it. Have a go. And your mate has to pay up, okay? We'll use this app to make sure that they do. It's a nice, easy way to do it. There's no commission, so you'll take 100% of the winnings, and it's free to download. So if you both bet £10, the winner keeps the 20 quid. It's that simple. So download the app via the link in the video description below. You can do that, or you can scan the QR code just about... just there. Scan the QR code now so that you can make a bet with DR Sports. Use promo code 1GOAL, okay? 1 cap, all in caps as well, goal, when signing up. If a goal is scored, this is what the Fair Play bet is this week. If a goal is scored in the Man City Liverpool game, then you'll be credited £5 to your account to make a bet. So it's easy. If you've used it before, you're good to go. Users need to be 18 plus and gamble aware. And like I said before, the link is in the video description below. So go check it out.
That was a lovely read, if I say so.
Lovely read. I thought he said it off his heart. I thought that was
What read came from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. But we have got Laurie, we've got Doyle, we've got Abby, we've got Matisse, and obviously myself and you guys at home. A really big round of fixtures. Obviously, the most tasty, Liverpool City. But we'll leave that for a minute. We'll get to that.
It's a whole meal, that one,
Yeah,
lads.
I think it is.
It's a whole meal.
Think it is.
We need some starters before that, you know what I'm saying? That's a proper...
not Fulham Wolves,
It's
isn't
not
it?
Fulham Wolves. It's
Not Luton Palace.
It's not Brentford Arsenal. You know, it's not
Luton
Man United
Palace.
Everton.
Luton
But there are
Palace.
some other tasty games. So we're going to start this side of the room. We're going to start at Chelsea. Because Chelsea need to take the trip up the motorway to St James's Park.
Howie.
Up with the gods.
Yeah, up with the gods. What are you saying? He says nothing to lose on your top there.
No.
Brilliant, innit? I love
you
that.
know?
There actually is a lot to lose, to be fair. We need to win the game. I think Newcastle coming into this game, there was a rumour of 14 injuries, but I think Isak and Almiron could be coming back in contention. I would be shocked if they don't make it, because just the way it is with us, you know, players will come back. So, but you know, regardless of whether they're depleted or not, we saw against Man United in the Cup. It doesn't matter what team they're playing, they're going to put a shift in. So Eddie Howe's got them for a good while now in that process, and they're all in tune with how they need to play. And they're at home, so you know the crowd's going to be behind them. So it's a tough place to go regardless of what the circumstances are. I think for us, though, we just have to go there and win the game, because you take a look at the table, Newcastle, Brighton, Man United, those are the next 3 fixtures, and they're all just ahead of us. So if we can win the majority of or all of those games, then we'll be back where we should be, you know, bare minimum really in European places. So yeah, I'm confident, but I think Newcastle had a bit of a dip recently. They lost back-to-back games in the Champions League against Dortmund. They got PSG, I think, next week, so that's a big game if they want to qualify. They lost to Bournemouth. Obviously, they've got injuries. Trippier was there pointing at the crowd, you know, in that game. So I'm still confident because we've been playing well recently, but yeah, we need to back it up with some wins.
Yeah, that is gonna be a tough game. I mean, Newcastle. It doesn't matter even if the players are down a little bit and they've got players missing. Just the atmosphere, isn't it?
I think
know they're going to be up for it. They beat Arsenal there in their last home Premier League game.
I think
ain't going to be
some help.
Definitely matters that they haven't got their starting team without shadow of a doubt. Like, they have suffered as a result of it. But when it comes to playing against the big teams like the Uniteds and the PSGs and whatever else, they seem to turn it on. And that's the scary part about Newcastle this season. But they're definitely not the same Newcastle that we seen last season, where they were just relentless and kept winning. Yeah. So I don't think Chelsea have much to fear in the sense of we're going to go there and just get trampled on. There's something in there in that game for you, definitely. I think there is. They played, what was it, Lewis Hall at left back. They played that.
He can't play this game.
In centre mid, right in the middle of the pitch, the most important position. They played him there, and he suffered as a result against Bournemouth. So I do think that Chelsea can go there, especially you found a little bit of form now. You seem to be kicking on. Cole Palmer, everybody knows about this lad. He's got goals in him. He's confident. He's strong. Like, I think there's something in this game for Chelsea, I really do.
The good thing is Nkunku's back as well. He's on the bench.
You just need him.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
How big is that?
Huge.
And how big of a player can he be?
Out of all the forwards we've purchased in the last 12 months, he's the one with the track record. He's the only one. I mean, he was going to go to the World Cup with France, and that's a difficult squad to get into, but he got injured for Leipzig. But he's been banging in the goals for them. I think he was joint top scorer in the Bundesliga last year, but he was injured for like 3 months, and he's still joint top. So he's a really good player, and he's the one in pre-season that was kind of joining the midfield to the attack, and he was giving support to Jackson, but he was also involved in the chance creation as well. So you add Palmer, who we didn't have in pre-season, with him, I think those two could be seriously on another level together. And obviously Sterling's in good form. So I am looking forward to seeing him hopefully make an appearance. But Newcastle are a physical team. We saw that against Arsenal. Bruno Guimaraes, I don't know where he's at, if he's playing or not. But that Brazil-Argentina game, he's just fresh from that. Joe Linton and whatnot, you know what I mean? So they're
Joe Linton got sent off.
They're scrappy.
No, that wasn't
some
even
of these international ties have been a bit crazy. We're talking about the weekend ties, but wow, some of them were feisty.
That was a scrappy
Egypt
game
one as well. I don't know if you've seen the Egypt one.
I didn't see that one.
Mo Salah was luckily to
really?
without no injuries, mate. They were getting volleyed everywhere.
So Enzo Fernandez just come back from that big clash with those two. So I don't know if this is the right game for Nkunku, because that is going to be a physical, nasty match potentially. You never know. So, but just good to have him on the bench and available. People will be like, "Is this what a billion bench is meant to look like?" Well, yeah. Hopefully now, when he's back and
you can't
Lavia,
afford to drop Nicholas Jackson, surely.
No.
Mr. Shoe.
I would have him starting purely because he's confident right now. He scored against City. That was a big goal for him. But Broja's back as well. He'll be on the bench, and I'm looking forward to seeing him because I think Poch rates him really, really highly. And I think he's a talent. He just needs to stay fit, and we might see something from him. So slowly but surely, we're getting our players back. There was no injuries over the international, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Is this maybe where Chelsea? I know you said Spurs gave them momentum, and they took that into the City game.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is this where they can actually definitely start turning the corner? Like, if they go to Newcastle and win, that would be huge. And to get someone like Nkunku back amongst the ranks as well, I don't know if he can come off the bench. Could this be a turning point, turning point?
They're going to need it to be because, they're still, you're still 10th in the table. Mm-hmm. I wasn't actually digging there. I just was clarifying. But against City, they were great. And whether or not City just weren't at their best that day, you can't take anything away from Chelsea and how good they performed. And they were hungry for it. And I definitely think that, what happened in that Spurs game gave them confidence. And rightly so. At the end of the day, you won the game. It was a big game and there was a lot at stake. And it kind of has turned in your favour. And I thought against City, as you mentioned, Cole Palmer for me has been standout, as is Raheem Sterling. And Nkunku, we've always discussed him coming back into that side is going to be, a huge boost for Chelsea. My only concern is that this is someone in Nkunku who has been constantly injured. So you have bought someone that can effectively continue to get injured. I'm not saying that he's going to come back and then get straight away injured again, but it's a big ask for him to come on and affect the game on Sunday. But if you can get something at Newcastle, which is probably the hardest place to go in the Premier League, and if you take into account the atmosphere, fans are in the gods. You're making a face there because
Anfield probably is more difficult.
But your fans only sing for like a minute.
But we still win games there, don't we?
You
so
do. You do.
But we lost one in like
just
50 games or something.
Well, on record, Villa would be the most difficult. I think they've won 13 out of the last 13.
Yeah, at home. But I do think that Newcastle, in terms of the atmosphere and having fans behind, and obviously look, they've got a lot of injuries, so there's no time like the present to really go to St James's Park and try and get a result. But it's a big test. I don't know if you'll come away with all the points, but I can see you definitely getting something out of that.
Same. Honestly, I agree with you. I can just see something happening, bubbling for Chelsea. You seem to be taking along. You're getting better. You're tapping into players' redemption arcs like Cole Palmer. And in my opinion, that's how you get the most out of players, is the players that have been shunned somewhere else. And you go, I believe in you. Go and prove it, lad. And that's what he's doing right now. Mo Salah did it for years, lad. So I'm actually liking the look of this Chelsea team now. I'm seeing something from them. It's good.
Is it starting to take shape for you, Laurie? Like, how do you look on them? Like,
no,
they're taking a lot of slack, and obviously, they spend all this money.
Rightly so.
Look where they are, and exactly everything's been justified in the slack that they have got.
Well,
but
you know what? To be fair, I would say, and I've said this on record previously, that was always going to be a project that was going to take time to build. And I remember I was on a stream with Doyle at the start of the season. You played them, didn't you? And it was an excellent game, draw 2-2.
First game of the season.
Yeah, and even then I was saying that I like the look of Chelsea. They've got some young, exciting, quick, athletic players. It would take time to get the blend right, But I think we're getting there now as far as Chelsea are concerned. Obviously got a very good manager. And I think they can get something this weekend. So,
A couple of super chats here from you guys. This is from Clara. Clara says, Abby, you were very vocal on Monday after Everton were docked 10 points and equal punishment for all clubs. So, would you say the same for punishment for Spurs, which Luton received getting docked 30 points for agent frauds in 2008?
I don't think it was 30 points that they were deducted, was it?
Luton were.
Well, Luton were deducted that. I mean, if we're guilty of something, then yeah, it needs to be the same across the board. I mean, just to clarify, we're talking about one club potentially getting relegated for the amount of breaches.
We're not, though.
And we're talking about
not going to get relegated.
a potential issue with the Jermaine Defoe transfer, which was actually looked at the time, and it was dismissed. So I haven't got anything to worry about.
Did you pay them? Did you pay them to dismiss it?
Thank you, Clara. Thank you for your
Did you pay them to
payment
dismiss
for
it?
the super chat.
Did you pay them to dismiss it?
As if we're going to spend any extra money that we have to.
I mean, that's insane. It all starts coming out of the woodwork, innit? Steen, big up to Steen, says, seeing Doyle on always makes for a good show.
Thank you very much.
Big ups for the Man United podcast with Cams and Liez. Big love for you lot from Canada and an Arsenal fan as well. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. Me, Cams, Coach Cams and Liez had like a Man United therapy session. I know a lot of you lot don't. It's quite cute. Yeah, Man United therapy session. We spoke about all sorts. So yeah, make sure you tune in to take a look at that. And Himanshu says, Laurie's been a while. When's the next boxing stream?
The next boxing stream, I would imagine, will be December. As you guys probably already know, there's a big fight going down on the 23rd of December in Saudi. It's difficult to say who's actually headlining. Is it Wilder, Parker, or is it AJ versus Wally?
Trying to fleece the fans as usual, mate. No one knows.
No, I know, listen, everybody wants to see Wilder versus AJ.
Yeah,
but
that's what they really want.
Yeah.
That notwithstanding, I think that is a very good card.
No, it's a good
card.
card. Tina says, can Poch take Chelsea back to Mourinho's and win the league in the future, which he never did with Spurs? Matisse,
Too soon to say. Way too soon to say. We've got a long way to go before we start having those conversations. The landscape of the league is completely different now because Pep's here and he's a problem, so
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that question needs to be rephrased. Can you win the championship when you get relegated?
We're not going to get relegated. But if we did, it would be another piece of silverware.
Imagine Man City and Chelsea in the championship.
I mean, it would be a great. It would get views.
It would, yeah.
It'd be an unbelievable title race. I mean, they probably win it.
If they want to expand the marketing to not just the Premier League, they should just do it.
I think Tottenham better off to get relegated because they didn't actually get to win something. You know what I mean? With this whole Defoe case.
Who said we win it? Who said we win the championship?
You don't back them to win the championship.
Do you know what's lovely, right? For once, Liverpool and United are squeaky clean, lad. We're okay.
Well, we did have an FFP from UEFA to pay.
Not so long ago. Yeah.
250 grand.
And also,
that was last year, wasn't it?
Tina, don't bring Spurs into it. We had a season without any transfers. This is a team that spent £1 billion.
Well, you had your own little personal transfer ban.
On that, I was saying to Robbie
we've had transfer bans before, same thing.
Yeah, we didn't have it. We had a self-imposed transfer ban.
Oh, right.
And you've also spent $1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Get your money up.
$1 billion.
Get your money up.
You know what, Flex? On that, I was saying to Robbie the other day, like everyone's going on about City, and of course, what's happened with Everton, Chelsea, and now Tottenham. But there'll be a lot of clubs, man, whose chairman of clubs sleeping uneasily at night because
don't go anywhere.
We all think that because the names of like Arsenal and Liverpool not been brought up, but you don't really know, do you?
Yeah, that's exactly.
You know what I mean? So there'll be
a
lot of
pretty sure.
Corruption exists.
I think what we should do if we want to solve the problem is the FA should release a statement and say everybody needs to hand in their business by this date. If you don't, we will investigate everybody, and then we'll dig it up. Yeah, because if they say that, you think it's just going to be Chelsea, Tottenham, Everton, Man City. It's going to be a lot more clubs that are going to be like, actually,
that's what I said.
I got this, I got that. Bring it to the table, and then there you go.
Definitely.
Yeah, simple. All right. Well, back to the game then. Give me a prediction, Matisse, because it's obviously it's still a tough game.
Yeah.
How do you see the game going?
Oh, it's a really tough game, man. My biggest worry is their physicality, to be honest, and set pieces, because we are not the most physical team. I'll go over 2-1 win for Chelsea. It's tough.
Abby?
Draw for me. I think it might be a 1-1.
Yeah? Okay.
I reckon a 2-2. Yeah, I agree. I'd draw. I can just see it.
I thought about a 2-2, but then I thought because of Newcastle in terms of the injuries, I thought it might be a bit more low scoring, very defensive.
Yeah. I just see them getting goals from corners. That's where I see it.
Okay, so that's 2 draws there.
I've gone for the Desmond, 2-2.
Yeah, same.
Another 2 draws. Got 3 draws here, and only Matisse thinks Chelsea's
I think it'll be a good game. I do think there'll be
it'll
some
be a good
goals.
game.
I'm looking forward to the game.
Me too.
I'm with Matisse actually. I think Chelsea nick this. I think Chelsea nick this. I hope they don't.
Hopefully it's
I want to.
Actually, who do I
3-0.
want to draw? I want to draw.
Are they
I
gonna
wanna draw, actually.
Are they going to play a low block? I don't know. It's going to be
I
interesting
think
to see.
they'll be after
At
you.
home, I don't think they
They'll
will.
be after you.
But I think it really
Is Botman
depends who's
back?
fit.
No.
No.
That's a big blow for
There's
them.
no
They've got-
Botman. No, I don't think Sar's fit either.
Yeah. Get your predictions in the chat, guys. Let us know how you think that game's going to go at St James's Park. Newcastle taking on Chelsea. Big game. Get your super chats in as well. We'll get them read out, and just regular comments in the comment box as well. Get involved in the show. Let's move on to another tasty game. Villa taking a trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Villa, obviously at home, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But in terms of the table, now with your back-to-back losses, you're on the same games as Villa. They're 1 point behind you. Closing in on 4th
They
place.
don't actually travel that well, Villa.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
they don't.
At home, they've been amazing, but away from home, you're
Yeah.
not really sure what you
Look,
get. But you've got injuries. You've had a bit of adversity. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think that the back-to-back losses, obviously, just saying it don't tell the whole story. I'm fearful about them. Obviously, they haven't got a great away record, but I'm fearful about them coming because the centre-back partnership is still Dyer and Davis. So when I think about Ollie Watkins, DRB, I just think about
Bailey as well.
Bailey,
McGinn, Wendy, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Douglas, Douglas Luiz. I just think of all these players, and I just think, Dyer
Who's
and
your left back
Davis.
for this game?
Destiny
back.
Doggy's back.
Yeah. Okay.
He is back, so he should come straight into the mix, and Porro on the other side.
Basuma's not.
Van de Ven back?
No, Basuma's big miss against the
Basuma
Villa
is
midfield.
suspended.
Yeah.
Romero is still suspended. Mickey Van de Ven is still out. They've said it's not as bad. I mentioned it on Monday. I think that he's probably expected to maybe return over Christmas.
Big miss for you guys.
Hopefully he's back over
Been
Christmas.
very impressive.
He has been training, I think. So
Is Sar still all right?
yeah, Sar's good.
So your last midfield was Sar, Basuma, and Højbjerg, and now there's no Basuma. So
Yeah, I think. I would assume Bentancur would. I mean, he was on international duty with Uruguay, so hopefully that doesn't affect him starting. But it's fine, and that's what we really need. He needs to start. I think even in that Wolves game, Wolves were so much better than Spurs anyway in terms of how they kind of dominated that game. We weren't really in it, in my opinion, from after the goal,
from the
2
goal,
minutes in. And it was a lot of defending from us. And look, in fairness, I'll give them some credit. Like we did hold out until the 90th minute, but the game doesn't stop at 90 minutes anymore. So that is just my biggest concern, having such an attacking, fluid front line that Villa have, and banging form as well. I just really fear it against a defence of Dyer and Davis. Dyer is like a fridge. And has the pace of one, so it does scare me a little bit. But I think for Spurs, we just have to just try and get through this period of games, and we've got some tough games as well. This is one of them, and hopefully that Mickey Van de Ven will come back in December at some point.
Well, I'm looking at the bench.
tough.
I'm looking at the bench that was
got loads of
against
injuries.
Wolves, and it's terrible. Obviously the 3 senior players on there. Brian Hill, Lo Celso, Rodrigo. They all came on against Wolves. After that, it's Oliver Skipp, Fraser Forster, Ashley Phillips, never heard of him.
Ash, do you know what? Ash,
Velez, don't know him.
He's a striker. Ash Phillips has actually been talked about in quite high regard since he joined us from Blackburn. I was surprised we didn't see him maybe come in and get some game time. Maybe he will at the weekend.
It's hard to throw them type of players
It's
into.
very
the
hard to
manager's
throw him
reluctant,
in.
yeah.
Again, maybe if Romero was back, I'd say throw him in with Romero, but I don't necessarily know if he'd take the risk and throw him in again with Eric Dyer.
Jamie Donnelly, Alfie, Dorrington.
Yeah, look,
they've got to fill it up with kids.
This is the
what I'm
problem.
saying,
We haven't got
Tough.
any
You
strength.
going to play a high line?
Yeah, they will. Of course they will.
Play a high
Of
line.
course.
High
You gonna
line
play
for
a high
life.
line, mate?
High line for life.
They've got 11
mate.
players. They're definitely going to play a high
Squad
line.
depth is a real issue.
Villa, Unai Emery's, look what he's doing at Villa.
Yeah.
Feels like he's found the perfect kind of home at the minute. He's really, really improved them on a great run.
Yeah.
1 point behind Spurs. They look dynamic. They play on the front foot. They create loads of chances.
Yeah.
how do you? They definitely play a high line as well, and they don't.
They do. They do
from that. So
no, I think out of all the teams at the moment, it's probably obvious to say, but they look best equipped at the moment to maybe knock on that door for Champions League, just purely because they're in the Conference League. Which, listen, we've seen some of the teams in that out of the Europa League, Champions League. They're the ones out of the Newcastles, the Brightons that maybe can take it a bit easier, and they've got a lot of squad depth. You have to remember this team lost Mings for the whole year. And in came
and Buendia as well.
Yeah, Buendia's out for a while as well, but they've still got Kamara. We haven't seen Jacob Ramsey much as well. That's another talented player that they've got. So they've got a lot of strength and depth in this team, and with those injuries, we're not really speaking about them because they've just got more players to come in as well. I'm looking forward to the game because I really think it's going to be a fun game. I think Aston Villa could definitely get quite a few goals here. I think not having Basuma is massive because now he's the linchpin in that midfield. I don't know fitness wise if Bentancur can really rise to that level that Basuma's been playing at and replace him at this early on. You have to remember Bentancur was out for ages. Some people in the chat are saying Udogi's injured. I don't know what's happened there. I don't know if that's true.
I haven't seen that.
That's heavy if he is.
But no, Maddison as well. Like Maddison has been arguably the player of the season in the Premier League this year. And to not have him, you're missing that creativity. I know Salah, yes, I know, Salah's going to come up, but
signing pound for pound, it's been the best.
For me,
signing.
Maddison's been ridiculous.
I would say yes, and just behind him is Szoboszlai. Just. He
It's not all about Liverpool now.
It's not. No, it's absolutely not. But we were talking about like factual things and that. Like Dominic Szoboszlai is incredible. And one of the best signings.
I'm not saying
he's
not, but I think
Maddison for me. Maddison's
more
when he's been
influential without a doubt.
Exactly. I think that's also another massive problem for Spurs. That not only are you missing your centre back partnership, one through injury and one through just pure idiocy, but the other is Maddison, and we don't have another player that can create, and that was always the issue. Kane in the summer, Kane was part creator and goal scorer for us. He did everything. So just bringing in Maddison, it wasn't enough. We had to have someone else that was there and can go into that role. There is when you're just at home and you're talking to your friends and you brainstorm. It's been said maybe Kulusevski could do that role and try and play in that Maddison role, but I don't think he can do that. But when you look at all of the front and forward players that Spurs have, I don't think anyone can do that.
He's a special player. That's why he's signing of the season, because he actually has come in and delivered phenomenally, like we thought he would in Leicester. One thing, just like a sad thing that I would say about it, them lads went off on the Chelsea game, didn't they? When there was all that stoppage, right?
Yeah, it was.
And so
mad.
I don't know if you know about what you think about this, but the stoppage time for VAR, I don't mind it, because if they get the right decision,
right decision, that's fine. Most
But
important.
do we think that's affecting the players? Vicky van der Ven is a sprinter, and the second that he stopped and went again, the players might not be warm enough to keep going, and so they're sprinting again and they're doing this action or whatever, and it might pull the muscles. Maddison, Vicky van der Ven, both in the same game, right? So do you think that's affecting them?
Well, I think it's something, if they do feel that, then when there's pauses in play, like there is if there's a long injury or something,
you need to stay warm,
you've got to keep, get the physio
Maddison,
on,
to be
get the
fair, is
cones
quite
out,
injury prone player anyway.
He is. Maddison's is meniscus,
injury
so that's it's not looking good.
No.
Madison's injury prone as well, though.
He is injury prone. He is. But I do agree with you. I think on the Mickey van der Ven one, the amount of stoppages. I mean, I felt like we watched 20 minutes of football that first half in the Chelsea game anyway. Like, it was mad, the amount of stoppages and how long they were.
Yeah.
I do think that there is something that has to be done for when there is a break in play for more than probably a minute. You have to be doing something, because as we saw, the game kicked back off and then he's sprinted and it's gone straight away. So
you would have thought the physios would have relayed that message to them.
Yeah.
Keep warm.
You would have.
But,
Yeah.
Okay. Predictions, because it's a tough game, man.
It is.
And that'll be a good game to watch, actually.
It'll be really interesting.
It's
It's a real shame, I think, that neither of us are at full strength. And I was speaking to a Villa fan yesterday. We were doing some filming. And
excuses.
I think but he also said, he was like, it's a shame that you're not at full strength. He said, because this is like, I wanted to see like where we are.
Yeah,
in
they want to test
comparison
themselves.
He was like, so it would have been a really good battle if everyone was. At
if
the
you
same
lose,
level.
actually, before we get predictions, if you lose, do you think there'll be any panic setting in?
No.
Or?
This season there was absolutely no expectation anyway. It's a free hit this season, in my opinion, because everyone loves Ange. He's great. He's brought,
Speak for yourself.
He's brought character back to, to our club, and we're playing football the way that we want to play. It is not his fault, the injuries. It's not his fault, the suspensions, and it's certainly not his fault, the lack of squad depth.
Honeymoon period's over for me.
Well, the honeymoon period is over.
What can you see them just?
No, I'm just saying, like, this whole loving, like, we're done now.
I disagree.
It's over now.
disagree.
I don't mind him.
Well,
I don't mind him.
Yeah, I know, but like, love's a strong word. You know what I mean?
No, I don't love him.
Listen,
I don't love any enemy manager. No, don't love any of them. But I can respect them. I like them, lads.
It's
Cool
not
character.
the things that have happened in the last couple of games. I do not believe are his fault. And as you saw after the Chelsea game, every fan was more than happy to watch him play high line for life, 9 at the back, Vicario, in the 10.
Imposter, no clue.
8 or 9
it's
mates a
something
game.
refreshing because if you're going to lose the game anyway, and like we said, it was very.
Darwinian
cringy,
says
though.
high line was his fault.
I
That
don't
was a
have
bit
an issue
cringy,
with the
though,
high
innit?
line.
It's a bit
I don't have
cringy.
any issue with the high line whatsoever. And again, it's very small margins. If the goal for Dyer is given, which came off Bentancur anyway. So if it's given, then you probably don't go on to win that game 4-1. It probably ends up in a draw. So it is what it is.
We currently got 384 likes and nearly 4K watching, guys. I'm going to need 1K likes. And obviously, we're going to get to the big one. We're going to get to Liverpool City, but we need 1K likes on the video. I'm going to challenge you guys to do that. I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure you won't let us down.
Yes, please.
Support the channel if you can. If you're enjoying the content, just drop a quick like.
Did we do score predictions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're going to do now. Laurie.
Yeah, I must say, I'm enjoying this kind of mini implosion of Spurs, I must admit,
Talk to
because
us. Go on.
I'm going to say it, like, you guys are pretty arrogant. I mean, remember before
It's just
the
not
Arsenal
true.
game, Son was, you ain't going to want to play us now and all that. And
Well, that was proven.
you were
wasn't it?
riding
'Cause
high.
You didn't win.
You
at
got a
home.
draw. You got a draw on our worst day.
It was worse for you.
No,
not
but
for
you
us.
got a draw on our worst day.
Still got a draw.
So-
Arsenal have had a lot of worst days recently this season.
No,
The
but-
Chelsea game was their worst day.
Worst day.
Tottenham game was their worst
Worst
day.
day.
Talk about free
Loads
hit.
of worst days.
Spurs like to talk about this so-called free hit.
It was a free hit
But-
season.
When you were riding high a few games ago, it was all good. You were talking about winning the league.
I was never talking about winning the
Your
league.
fans were, some of your fans were. Oh my God.
A lot of your
Very,
fans.
very
We can't take them fans seriously.
Come
They
on.
must have just been
If
silly.
it's a very small minority,
I
because
can-
anyone
I
that
can
did
think
that
of-
is not saying it with chest. They're saying
I
it
can
for
think
pure
of one or
banter.
two of note on national radio stations who are talking
Well,
about
they're just
quite
idiots,
effusively
aren't
about
Jamie
Spurs.
O'Hara?
Yes.
they? Oh, that's
Lord.
Yeah, but that
Talking
doesn't
about
count.
winning
Yeah,
titles.
that doesn't count.
He doesn't count.
Right.
That's fair. He's just messing
That's
about.
fair.
No, but he wasn't the only one. You only had to listen to some of those phones. Anyway, I'm not going to big up that channel, but yeah, so to see this little mini implosion going on is quite funny. But having said that, yes, injuries will play a part this season for every club because we've had our fair share as well. Man United have had several, you've had this, Chelsea. So that being said, whereas I was going to go for a draw initially, I'm actually going to go for a Villa win, 3-1.
You think they'll 3-1?
Yeah.
You think that might be close, but then because of the lack of...
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
And I do give Ange credit for trying to change the playing. Well, not trying to. He has changed the playing style. They're a lot more attractive to watch. However, I do think in the final analysis, Villa got players that can hurt Tottenham. Van der Ven's going to be a big miss because he has impressed me this season. But I do like Villa going forward. I think they'll.
Okay. Doyle, what do you think?
Full 11 of Spurs beats Aston Villa, definitely, in my opinion, the way they were playing. Brilliant. But a depleted one is going to struggle, especially playing the high line with the players that aren't able to keep up them tactics as well as a Romero or a Vicky van der Ven who've got the pace to get back. I honestly see Villa pipping this just like 2-1. That attack is ruthless. They are genuinely brilliant at
Ollie
unlocking
Watkins
defences.
again, with the runs that he
Even
makes.
Douglas Costa,
and
mate.
Diaby running in behind Davis
John
and
McGinn
Dyer,
for me is I adore the
Third
fella. I
man
think
runs,
the fella
yeah.
is brilliant, and he's going to unlock that midfield, especially with like the likes of Bentancur coming in off a international break. Like I Spurs going to struggle.
Am I right in thinking that Villa are one of those teams that like other teams' fans like to watch?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
They just quite
Love
like
them.
their players.
Love
They're doing
them.
all right. But listen, we can't gas up Villa too much. Their away record isn't what their home record is, where they're smashing
It's true.
everyone. I watched them a couple of weeks ago in their last away game against Forest, and they were awful.
Yeah.
Forest ran up on them. I watched
Yeah,
that 90
that's-
minutes,
yeah,
and
that's-
Forest
yeah.
was brilliant.
Is that a
And that
Fox
was
scandal?
Awoniyi on the counter attack with Alanga.
I think there was a touch of complacency in that game.
Yeah, maybe it was because they put it right next game. But I'm just saying, away from home, it hasn't always been that. But Abby, people aren't really backing Spurs. Are you? You backing your team?
Yeah, I will back us, but I fully agree with what you guys have all said. I do agree, especially with their front line. It's going to be very difficult. I will back us, though. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Spurs win.
It's going to be a grand for both teams, right? You can see
Yeah.
it's going to be a grand.
It might be like a, late smash and grab
Swings
for us.
either way.
I can see that kind of
Is it
happening.
me? But you don't seem to be saying that with much conviction.
I can't say it with conviction when I know
When
the
she
defence.
rubs her nose, she's lying.
But you always back your team. You've all got to always back your
So
team.
you're rubbing it and studiously looking at the top.
Don't tell people my tail, boy. No, I think that when I look at kind of the defence that we've got, and I take into account that Basuma is also not there, I think it just might be a late one for Spurs. But look, Bacchus get over the line at home. Son was really poor last game as well. I'd like him to show up as well this weekend. But I really like the look of Brennan Johnson. He's been good every time he's featured. He kind of got the raw end of the deal coming off against Chelsea because he was doing really well for that first 20 minutes. And Kulusevski's looked good as well. It's just the defending for me. But who knows? Vicario has been great, so hopefully another 10-10 performance from him.
3-1 Villa.
Straight to ask you what you think.
We are here for this. Like, seriously, keep bringing them down the table, man. Just keep bringing them down.
Why don't you just try and,
Yeah, we
focus
also
on
need to
yourself.
win. Yeah,
Focus on yourself,
I can do two things at once.
Oh, can you?
Multitasking.
Can you?
You drop down the table and we rise, and that's how it needs to be.
Come on,
100%.
Newcastle.
So you
'Cause I've got a bet.
Humble
I've got a
this
bet to
boy.
win.
What
I love
yeah,
how
we
you
need to finish ahead of them.
The funniest thing was you were literally on, I think, week 10. You were like, no.
Yeah,
just
because if you
just
beat
take the
us, I
money.
said-
Just take the money. Just take
If
the
you
money.
beat us, I said, listen, it's looking a bit long. But now, I mean, not only did we beat you, but also
Yeah, you
lost
took
the
half
whole-
our squad. Thank you.
Yes, so
Thank you
now
very
it's a
much.
different ball game. Now
Thank
I feel
you.
like, we can.
So you're back in the bet now.
Yeah, we're
you're back in
We're
it.
definitely back.
How do I see this going? Yeah, I don't think Spurs will get beat up like some people think they will because the team's as decimated as it is. I don't think that will be reflected in like a big defeat. But Villa will cause trouble. I could see a draw actually. I could see a draw.
Under normal
I
circumstances.
could see a draw. Yeah,
1-1.
1-1.
I was going to go for a draw initially, but
Is
then
this
when
a
I
late
looked
kickoff?
at the injuries and I saw
2 o'clock.
Oh, Sunday.
If
Okay.
a doggy's not there, then genuinely.
I haven't seen where a doggy isn't fit. So
Okay.
Where's Sessegnon? Injured.
Has he ever been?
The boy's never been fit.
Yeah. Okay, get your predictions in for that. Spurs versus Newcastle. Spurs versus Villa. Sorry. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That is going to be a really good game for the neutrals to watch for sure. Remember, we're going to get to 1K likes before we get to that City and Liverpool chat. We're at 600 now, so we're going to do a couple more games and just get those likes up. I'm sure you guys can do it. Let's go to Arsenal, taking on Brentford away.
Yeah, I was at the game earlier in the season when we beat them 1-0 in the Carabao Cup, and it was a good game actually. We controlled the first half.
Yeah, second half.
Second half, they
innit?
came back at us. It's quite strong, but we held out. We got the win, deserved it in the end. But this Premier League it will be different. But I still fancy our chances. And look, I'm hearing that Odegaard's back, which is very refreshing to hear that. So he'll be teaming up with Declan Rice in the middle of the park there. It'll be interesting to see who he plays through the middle. Trossard scored in the last couple of games. There was that debate about whether he should play in the absence of Jesus. So
Did
I don't know how that'll
Jesus
work
play
out.
for Brazil?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
yeah.
so he should be alright then.
Should be fine.
Yeah, but does he walk straight back in the team?
If he's
He
fit enough
should
to
be.
play
He
for-
should do,
he's
but-
fit enough. Yeah.
Did
Play for
you
Brazil.
take outrage to some of the comments that he made? He said if
No, not really, because I knew that to be true anyway.
Well, he said goal scoring is not.
It's
his,
not his.
I respect him, lad, for
Yeah.
it.
What did he say? I didn't see the
He said
comments.
goal scoring is not my
Basically, what he
forte.
said, it's not his forte.
Yeah,
But when he
builds
first came
play
in,
up
did he not
and
want to be
creates
the number
goals.
9? And he said, I want to be the number 9. I want the responsibility. So he lost confidence in
What I
himself?
read from that comment is he's obviously trying to take a bit of pressure off himself. He's basically saying, I bring a lot more to the team than just goals.
I agree.
It's true.
Which,
I respect it.
so I didn't have any problem with that remark at all, to be honest.
Okay. Someone said big opportunity for Ramsdale. What is Raya?
Yeah, because Raya, I was going to say this.
Oh, he
actually.
can't play against him, can he?
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Which
actually,
a lot of fans, myself included,
is it a big
I don't have
opportunity?
an issue with, because I think, much has been said about Ramsdale and his dad and all the rest of it, but personally, I do think he's been harshly treated, because Raya, although he's a very good keeper, especially with the ball at his feet, it can also be said your main forte as a keeper is to keep the ball out the net, and he's made a few mistakes. Chelsea being
Yeah, he was
an
terrible.
obvious case in point when he just missed. Even the Newcastle game, with all that
For the goal,
hullabaloo
yeah, no one
afterwards.
talks about he was
But
actually
yeah,
awful
but-
on the
That's
goal.
fault.
Him, let's face it was him missing that.
Yeah.
that allowed that goal to be
Done it
scored
against
in the
City
first
at
place.
home as well, where he should have been conceded a
He
couple.
hasn't been that good with his feet, if I'm honest
Exactly.
with you either. to be
No,
quite
he's good
honest.
with his feet.
He is good with his feet, but this season he hasn't really shown it as much as he did with Brentford. I think he's been caught out a few times. He's had the ball a bit too long.
Champions
He's been
League
caught.
is long.
But you know what,
Genuinely.
though, right? And I'm going to say this. I've said this on record previously. I think that whole goalkeeping situation has been created by the manager.
Yep, I agree.
And it's actually putting pressure on both of them. So we've not seen the best of either of them.
Can I put this to you though? Because although it's going to be a little bit of a mess while both keepers are a bit uncertain, but obviously Ray is number one. But if you're an Arsenal fan, wouldn't you be like, well, my manager is basically pushing the boundaries for being exceptional, because he's basically saying that Ramsdale has been good, but I believe this guy is even better, and I believe this guy's going to take us to a new level. I'm not just going to stick with Ramsdale because he has done well. The opportunity to get someone who I believe is better for this team. Shouldn't Arteta, and then let's be honest, what's going to happen is, let's just be real, what's going to happen is Ramsdale's going to realise, which he has realised already, that he's not the number one, and he's going to go into someone, and then Mikel Arteta would have phased him out and gone with the keeper that he believes is better for Arsenal.
But he hasn't.
What I would say about that, if you look at the situation, right, what happened with Pep, what was the first thing he did when he went
Joe
to
Hart
City?
out, Bravo in.
He removed Joe Hart, who was a bit of an iconic figure at City at the time. He brought in another keeper. They played
Bravo
a
was
different
awful.
style.
Yeah, and got rid of him quick as well.
Terrible. Terrible.
One of the worst
people-
goalkeepers I've ever seen. in the Premier
Honestly,
League.
genuinely.
Bravo, yeah.
He's a hologram.
But, that was the rationale behind that. And I think it's a similar thing here. I think that Arteta, because apparently we were looking at Raya from even before we bought Ramsdale, apparently. So he's brought this guy in. He's acknowledged that he's better with the ball at his feet, which I think he is. And so that's his long-term plan.
But he hasn't sold Ramsdale and made it definitively clear Raya is his number one, which is what Pep did. My thing with Arsenal is you haven't brought in a world-class keeper. So you could sell Ramsdale, and I guarantee in 12, 18 months' time, you're going to be same position with Raya. I'm not sure about him. We need to get someone else. Like, you haven't
But
brought
he
in
doesn't think that. Arteta thinks that
he might not think that now.
By Raya being that,
might not
he's
think that
saying,
now,
I
but he's going to think
better.
that soon with him and Havertz, because he hasn't brought in a world-class keeper. He wasn't world-class before he came. He's not world-class now. And the thing is, if you're going to take away Ramsdale from this team and you're going to create this frenzy, which is what he's done, I don't like this whole competition thing in goal. I've never liked it.
I don't like
For me,
it.
you've got a world-class keeper, and they Alisson, and he plays because he's that good, and the guy's on the bench. This is not the position where you rotate or you have this like who's gonna play? Like, you just don't have that in goal. And this whole he was saying that he was gonna, in games he was considering taking off the goalkeeper and switching him off at 60 minutes.
That's
How many
mad.
poor games have I seen Raya have? You've go on and do it.
Yeah.
I dare you, go on, do it. He's not done it once. So you're not really.
Because that's his guy. And
As we say,
But it's biased, isn't it? Because he said it was
But then
going to
if
be.
it was Ramsdale in goal, hypothetically, and he was having a stinker, would he sub him off?
He ain't
for
subbing
David
off no
Raya?
keeper.
He's not subbing off no
It's,
goalkeeper,
That's
bro.
what it is.
He's
It's just, it's
waffling.
just, it's
What
just
you
causing,
said there
it's just
about-
causing an issue for absolutely no issue. And I think that when there's one position for goalkeeper, it's a very important spot on the pitch, because your defence, if they don't trust your keeper, if they don't trust the keeper, then that
Everything's
just
shambles.
Yeah, everything's a shambles. So I just think tinkering around with that, you can say, look, Ramsdale's not good enough to be a number one, but just make it clear. But then I think his dad going on a podcast and talking about it, I just think it creates this whole kind of shitstorm.
Was that the best idea there,
for
Robbie?
Arsenal to have to then
no,
deal
no,
with?
Sorry.
Listen,
Because you're
it's
not
his son,
saying.
man. It's his
Listen,
son.
I agree.
He's
with
going to
that.
stick up for his
Sure,
son. I
but
would
you
do
have to
the
go
But
on
same.
should he be on a
podcast.
should he be on a
You would do the
podcast?
But
same
is
for
that
you
ben-
to
is
do
Should
that-
he be
is
should he
that
be on a
beneficial?
podcast doing that?
Is it beneficial to Arsenal for him to
He
go
wants to
and
get
do
his,
that?
he wants to get the message out there, and these days that's how you do it, through social media, through podcast.
I don't know, I
I've got
don't
no
think it's a good
problem
look.
with that.
You got no problem with that?
No.
I thought you would have been.
I
like,
did
nah,
as
man,
well.
what
I
you
thought
talking
you'd
for,
really
man?
not like
Well,
that.
Football,
That surprises me.
Your football should speak louder than your voice, mate. And that's
Absolutely.
what I think. His
No,
dad
but
should be like, I want to support you, but for the best of his career, similar to Jadon Sancho, it should apologise and stuff like that. For the better of his career,
that's way different.
Aaron Ramsdale shouldn't be letting
Sounds
his
a
dad
bit like,
come out.
oh,
You know
go
what
get
I'm
my
saying?
dad to
No.
go up to school.
It's
Like,
there's
let me
a
get
right-
my dad to go on a podcast. Like, if that was me, I would say to my dad, don't go on a podcast and
Or go on a
talk about the
podcast,
thing.
but just maybe just don't talk about it in that way.
Yeah,
What
I guess you
behaviours
could.
Because I'm not
save
asking
you?
him to lie.
What
No,
behaviours
it's
save you?
just-
It's about saving yourself, right?
Yeah.
That does not save Aaron Ramsdale to shun Arteta or Raya or
I
whatever
can't
else.
imagine Mikel Arteta has thought that was that's
Doesn't
made
save them.
him look at Ramsdale.
I think,
in a
to all
better
intents
light.
and purposes, the Ramsdales, by Aaron and his dad, they all know how to score, as we do. Raya is the number
Yeah,
one.
exactly,
keeper
and
at
he's got to
Arsenal.
leave.
So
He's got to leave.
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
wouldn't blame him if he left in January. I do think the situation has been created by the manager. It may have been well-intentioned, hence why he was coming out with this. If I need to sub someone halfway through, I know I can do that. All that's cap. We know that's cap. At the end of the day, he brought in Raya because he recognised his ability with the ball at his feet. That's the way he wants to play.
He thinks he's better than Ramsdale. There's no other.
No, it's to do with a playing style.
Yeah, so he thinks he's better for what I want to do and where I want this Arsenal team to be. Ramsdale's not the guy, somebody else is. That's as simple as that. It sounds harsh, but that is why he's bought David Raya, and that is why David Raya has played nearly all the games. And the only time Ramsdale's really played is if he's been cut. Raya's been cut.
It'll be interesting to see if Ramsdale's a great performance, if that does anything for him going forward in the team. If he's
that's why
the thing. He can keep a clean sheet against Brentford away.
Yeah, Brentford's a tough place to go, and they proper lob the ball into the box. Constantly. So it's going to take a lot of.
Well, he had a good. Wasn't he decent in the win in the Carabao Cup against Brentford?
I was there.
Yeah, he played all right, didn't he? And he kept a clean sheet that game.
Listen, you speak to
he made a fantastic save. I think he hit the post.
All Arsenal fans will tell you, having seen both keepers, there's very little between the two in terms of. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say Ramsdale has looked better at keeping the ball out. But like I said, it comes down to the manager. He wants to play a certain style. He's identified Raya. And like I said, he was looking at Raya as far back as 2020.
How much is he going to cost? Because he's only there on loan, isn't it?
No, the price was like 30-something million.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. It's actually a really good deal. If Arsenal get that and that's their number one guy and they're going to do good stuff, they initially brought this guy in on a loan for 3 million with no obligation to buy. Seeing how good he is, and if it fits, then they're going to make it permanent. I think that
I do empathise with Ramsdale, hence why I don't have a huge problem with what his dad has done. Because I could think, you know what, if that was my son, I might be inclined to do the same thing. Some people may look at it and say, oh, you're not serving his best interest, bit unprofessional. I get that too. But all I'm saying, I can understand the dad's frustration.
Okay, Brentford, no pushovers. You know, you get a tough game whenever you play at Brentford. Spurs, that was your first game of the season, actually. Spurs, that was a good game. Predictions, Matisse, what are you saying on this one?
It's tough, man, because Brentford are a physical team. Long throws, crosses into the box constantly. Those two strikers up front there. I think Arsenal, you got any injuries coming into this?
3 or 4 out.
The usual lot.
The usual lot. Right, Rice is going to be massive in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Declan Rice got man of the match in this game. I think he's probably been, with Saliba, he's been Arsenal's best player. Those two have been exceptional. They've kept the standards high, consistent. I think Arsenal can sneak out of a win, to be honest. I think they could get like a 1-0, but it's going to be a dogfight. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Abby?
Draw. I'm gonna go 2.
She never predicts
Arsenal win. I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw.
I'm gonna go with 2-0 Arsenal win. I think it will be hard at some points of the game. Brentford, you know, with Wissa and Buemo and players like that, they will cause problems. But
don't sleep on them.
Yeah, they will.
It's a good game for Trossard
cause problems
as well.
Yeah, but I just feel Arsenal will just see it out professionally. Yeah, what are you saying?
I reckon 3-1. But what Abby just said, just don't sleep on him. Mbeumo is, I think he's 4th or 5th in like goals scored behind Haaland and Salah and stuff. Like that guy is a baller, lads. You know what I mean? They've got players, so, but they haven't been really kicking on this season, unfortunately, and they have shown a bit of weakness. So, Arsenal 3-1. I can just see them.
Do you want my prediction?
Of course. Right, you're next. Save the best till last.
Right, no, it's going to be a hard-fought game. London derby. We played them already. The two teams know each other well. It will be a difficult game, but I am expecting us to come through 2-1.
Okay. GP says, what does the panel think of Rice's Muller adverts?
I've not actually seen them.
Yeah, they're just a bit cheesy in that, but...
They like Cecil's when he announced Rice.
Better than Cecil's.
Better than Cecil's.
No, they're not as good.
Surely nothing's as good
Big
as
up
Cecil's.
Cecil. Yeah, it just goes with it.
That's
Muller,
great.
Rice,
It makes sense.
Good marketing.
Yeah.
If your name's Rice, you're going to do
if you're
Muller
in the
Rice,
marketing
lad,
department at Muller
The
and
thing
you're not
is
going to
that-
go and get
the
Declan
thing
Rice,
is
then
about
I don't know
Rice
what
is
you're
that he's
doing.
playing so well that
It's
you know,
perfect.
You can get it into
exactly.
like, yeah.
Yeah, if he was dropping 0 out of 10s, he's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
Rice,
yeah,
baby,
yeah,
and eat
yeah.
Muller Rice. I mean, which if he signed up to do it, he'd still have to do it.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, time is everything. And London Nomad says, as a rival, Arsenal is only 1 point off the top without 3 or 4 key players not playing their best. So regardless of the Ramsdale situation, it's working.
It is.
No, yeah, like, this is, everyone was saying like Arsenal have had some bad days, but even with the bad days, they're still second. They are playing all right. Third, yeah, it's joint second.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll quicken it up a little bit and then we'll get to the big one. Really quickly, Man United taking on Everton. points deduction bounce. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Are you away?
Big bounce.
Yeah, Zach Goodison.
Even without the bounce.
Points deduction bounce. That's what I'm saying. So
Right.
even
Even without the bounce.
even if you don't put that, it's still it was a difficult
Because
game
Everton are
beforehand.
playing well at the moment.
They're doing well.
Screamed Everton
You
win
add
this.
you add the points deduction into it, and the us against the world now, and the fans going to get right behind
Mind
the
you,
team.
you've got Luke
Lads,
Shaw back now.
let me
We've got-
tell
we've
you
got
now,
players
yeah.
come back, yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm from Liverpool, yeah. If you didn't know, I'm very scouse. And I've got a lot of Everton supporter mates, and let me tell you, they are called the Bitter Blues for a very good reason, because they are extremely bitter. And now they've had this punishment. Believe me, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, and the rest of their season, they are going to be dogfighting with everybody. And you know who's going to be first? United, lad. They're coming for you on that day, lad. Believe me, they are going to want blood for what's happened to them, and they've been playing well as well. They've got something out of the team, so I honestly think Everton can pip this like a little 1-0 from a little
I agree.
Tarkowski
Yeah,
header
I
from
agree.
a corner.
Man United are not
Genuinely
free
see it.
flowing. They're not free flowing. Hoyland hasn't scored in the Prem yet. Rashford's not been good.
Might not even play.
Yeah, Rashford's been
Who's
poor.
back for you?
So we have got Luke Shaw back, which is a massive plus. We've been playing, obviously, such a makeshift back four. We need some continuity back there. And Martinez is just back training by himself on the grass, but he's still a long way off. So
Yeah.
it's only really Luke Shaw who's back. It's a tough game. It's a tough game, man. It's a tough game. Even before this happens, you get, like I said,
It's going to be a cauldron.
Yeah, this is the batch of games. Everton away, then Galatasaray away, then
They've
Newcastle
been
away,
in form as well, Everton.
then Chelsea at
Been
home.
alright.
Everton have been doing all right. You know, beat
Do you know
Crystal
what the
Palace
slight
away,
danger of
got
that
draw
is,
against.
Although we're speaking about, you know, the backlash and the cauldron and all the rest of it, could that make United a little more, how can I put it, take a little less pressure off United?
Nah, there's pressure.
Pressure's
No,
a
There's so
lot
much
more on
pressure.
Everton.
there's pressure.
No,
No,
there's
no,
so
no,
much
definitely
pressure
on United.
Man United should be favourites to beat Everton.
Absolutely.
There's so much pressure on
But
United.
the reality is we're not.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Man United have been awful. And
No, but
everybody
what I'm
knows
saying-
that
And they
there's a
need to
loss
take
there.
some good momentum going into the Champions League. Remember, they're bottom of the group.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, could United kind of slip under the radar? Because everyone's looking at that fixture, Everton with the points
Yeah,
deduction.
thinking we're gonna lose.
Everyone's thinking, yeah, Everton going to really give it to them. All of a sudden,
It's not pressure
United-
off.
Nah,
though.
because Ten Hag's still under the microscope. Man United is still Man United. They're a massive club. I don't think they can ever go under the radar, especially with how much noise they make off
Yeah.
the pitch.
Absolutely.
And the Champions League fixture coming up. Like, that is such a
Off
massive
the radar,
game
Man United,
against
they're-
Galatasaray.
No, but what I'm saying, literally, no one I've spoken to is expecting United to get anything out
Really?
of this game.
Really? No, I am.
No one's expecting it. Really. No one's
What do you mean?
Are you
Really?
saying that with
You know-
chest or
Yeah,
you
we've got to
just...
try. Yeah, we've got to try and nick it 1-0.
Yeah,
it's
you've got
gonna
to
be
try,
tough.
but do
I
you
think it's
really
gonna be a
believe that they're
uncomfortable
going to
game.
go there and win?
I think we can. Yeah, of course we
Because
can.
I've spoken to United fans this week and they're telling me, boy,
I don't think that
All
makes
I'm
them
going to
Yeah,
say,
they
to
would've
you,
points
right,
to us.
all I'm going to say, nothing has changed for Everton. They are fighting relegation, and now they're still fighting relegation.
Yeah.
No, but
One
this-
win takes them out of the relegation
Exactly.
battle, lads.
the point I'm making is this. This is the first game after what's happened.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
you.
So it's heightened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I hear it.
All the energy that, you know what I mean, is going to
Yeah.
be focused
But that
on
maybe
this game.
it could play Man
So
United's
could
way. if they-
United slip under the radar and all of a sudden quieten
No.
the crowd down after 15
Yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes?
Look, in terms
Nick
of how
a
Man,
goal.
but it's not even slipping on it. It's just how Man United need to approach this game. You need to not make mistakes. You do need to make the Goodison faithful a bit nervy. So in the first 5-10 minutes when they're all at it and the players are running around like blue ass flies and the crowd's up, yeah, take a control of the game. You know, go 1-0 up is the most important thing as well. Make them second guess themselves because you can flip this whereby obviously the momentum's good, but they have been hit with a 10-point. All of a sudden you lose against Man United, you think, oh, lost that one, and then you might lose the next one, and then before you know, you start to fester in some negativity. Everton fans won't think that, and rightly so. They'll believe that they can beat us, and they can. But from a Man United perspective, we need to absolutely go there and not be scared of that atmosphere, because if you are, you're just going to succumb to it. We're going to get rinsed. It's as simple as that. But let's just get the quick predictions on that. I'll start. I think it's a tough one, man. Draw. We've been nicking a lot of 1-0s. And just get out, smash and grab, not great.
Bruno
1-0,
Fernandes.
yeah, 1-0.
2.
Man United, like, get out, tough chances, good saves. Oh, how did they miss that? Can't believe it. Get out, 3 points. One of them. Matisse,
1-0 Everton.
Abby.
2-1 Everton.
1-0 Everton.
I'm going to go against the grain. Initially, I had this down as a Everton win, but then when I started thinking about it along the lines of what I've just been saying, I thought I could just see United sneaking a goal and holding on. But I'll go for a draw, 1-1.
Okay. Ivor says, I wish City and Liverpool lose on Saturday. # United. And Heavy Metal D says, as a Liverpool fan, I truly believe we can win Saturday. I've read that one as well. Right, it's time for the big one. But before we do that, we're just going to fly through the other ones and just going to ask you for predictions. Yeah, Burnley, West Ham.
Wait, no. Burnley, West Ham.
Yeah.
Oh, West Ham. Burnley. Uh-oh.
Think they'll get a win finally?
Yeah, it's about time, isn't it?
Okay.
2-1 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham.
3-0 West Ham.
Yeah, 3-0 West Ham as well.
Okay, Matisse,
Done
staying
back
with
in
you.
Burnley.
Luton Town, Crystal Palace.
That's an interesting one, you know.
That is an interesting.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Abby?
I'm going to back Luton. I'm going to go 1-0 Luton.
Okay.
1-0.
I'm going Luton.
Okay. Luton, Palace 2-1. I'm going to go. Laurie, Forest, Brighton.
Tasty one, that.
That is
Brighton.
Brighton, one win.
This is
last,
great
10,
weekend of football,
9.
this, you know.
You know what?
What a great
I'm going to go Forest.
Yeah,
Forest at home.
Forest at home. It's a
Yeah,
fortress, mate.
Going Forest, though. They're favourites against Brighton, eh? How's that?
Yeah, but Brighton are not
Starting
doing
on
great.
the-
Yeah, Brighton are
It's
wicked,
not a
though.
game started.
I'm going to say 2-2, me.
Oh,
2-2.
who are you going for?
I'm going Forest.
Brighton are wicked, so you must be going Brighton.
You got to stop
You
this.
just hate De Zerbi.
course I
But
don't.
anyway, we don't have time for this right now.
I'm asking what your predictions are.
I'm going to back Brighton. I'm going to go 2-0 Brighton. They've got to turn it around at the minute.
2-1 Nottingham Forest.
Why are you going why?
Nottingham Forest, good.
It's a
good
fortress,
team.
lads.
They're a good team.
That is a very different.
They're a good team,
ground
and
to
at
go to,
home
lads.
as well. Like,
Yeah.
they're a problem.
I'm going to go Brighton 2-1.
You're nasty.
Why? I think they're going to win 2-1. They're going to win
Shame.
2-1.
You're nasty.
And Monday night, Fulham versus Wolves.
Big tie, that one, innit?
Why is that on a Monday? Are they taking a
Going-
piss?
Wolves are playing quite well. I'll go Wolves.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, we don't need to do that one actually because we're going to be here.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
be
Monday.
here.
Gary O'Neill's.
Yeah, Gary Neal. Okay, let's get to the big one. Last part of the show.
We already did the big one.
Before we do that, remember to download Fair Play. Fair Play is an app to be with your mates. There's a DR Sports special. Okay, so use the promo code 1GOAL in capitals, number 1 and goal in capitals when signing up. And if a goal is scored in a Man City Liverpool game, you'll be credited with £5 to your account. Okay, it's that easy. Users need to be 18 plus and gamble aware. Scan the QR code in the bottom left hand corner of the screen or just click the link in the video description below. All right, Doyle, talk to me, man. You know, everyone's saying Liverpool, you know, quietly going about their business, title push, you know what I mean?
Lads,
Big game.
I hate this game. I really do. I know it's mad to say I hate this game. It's
It's
one of the
entertaining
best
game. The
football
league love
games
this game.
in the calendar. But it's also like, you know, when Arsenal play City, you don't like it because it's scary. The outcome is a really big impact on our season. And City are City. They can do us whenever they please. They can do any team when they turn it on. So I'm not going into this game thinking Liverpool are just going to go there and steam. That's just not going to happen. The teams that we've had when we've been at the top of the world have not been able to beat City sometimes. So am I going into this game confident? Not really.
You're not?
But no, I'm not. But having said that, the lads on international break have been phenomenal. Mo Salah's got 4 goals. Darwin Núñez has got 3 goals. Lucho's got 2 goals. Diogo's got 1 goal. So the lads are in form. They're ready to score. The only problem that I see with this game, right, is it's one of the biggest games of the seasons. In Premier League, you should be ashamed of doing this, yeah. At 12:30 kick-off for 2 of the best teams in the league after an international break. How are they going to play the best game they can possibly play? How do you expect them to do that? They're going to be shattered. They can't do it. So what they're doing is lowering the standard of one of the best games, in my opinion. However, having said that, because of it, I think there's going to be a lack of focus from both sides. So there's going to be goals in this game, I think. I don't know which way it's going to swing. I honestly can't put it because Liverpool on their day, mate, we can score bags of goals. And just to add to it, Szoboszlai scored a winning goal as well, and he was brilliant for Hungary.
Something tells me that you like Szoboszlai.
I really love him, lad.
Yeah, you
He's
do
a
love him.
phenomenal footballer. He really
Fanboy.
is.
He is good.
Going into
He's
this
good,
game,
he's
I'm
good.
just really scared of it. It's one of the only games that I can never really say it's going to go this way or it's going to go that way. Last season they came to Anfield and they were a much better team, yeah, and we beat them 1-0. So I can't really, you can't put your finger on this. Can you predict this one?
No,
You
honestly.
can't,
The
can
only
you?
thing that worries me is your midfield.
Have
Have you got injuries in midfield? You've got a few players missing, haven't you?
We've
Or are they
got-
coming back now?
No, we've got our players,
Everyone
lads.
back?
We've got Dominic, we've got
It's
Mache.
the balance as well for me. Because if Endo,
Yeah, we
you've
haven't
only got
balance
Endo in the
this season,
6.
lads. Yeah, we've got
he's
no
not
balance.
going to play.
Well,
So
surely we'll play Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and McAllister.
That's what it'll be. Yeah, and it's not balanced. We all know this.
McAllister
McAllister in number
is not-
6 is.
How's Gravenberch shaping up?
Brilliant. I think he's like a traditional Dutch player, if that makes sense. He's a technician. He can go left, right. He can do anything with both feet. He's dribbler. He's close with the ball. His touch is great. He's got vision. I think he's a genuinely great little player. And he's only 21. He's got lots to grow into. He's still got
big
things
lad.
that he needs to.
So
yeah, he's big lad. He's got things that he needs to develop, of course, which you would expect from any 20-year-old. But he looks like a solid midfielder. But still, we have no number 6. And when they've got the likes of Rodri in that midfield, how are them 3 lads going to cope with that? The only thing I can think of is high energy in that midfield, high line, constantly bombarding them, and that's the way we're going to have to play, because City are going to score.
Yeah.
They're going to score a goal, and so we have to try and, I know this sounds stupid and Michael Owen-ish, but we have to outscore them, mate. That's just the only way we're going to beat City.
It is going to be a shootout. I mean, Abby, look, you can get at City. You know, look what Chelsea did. They proved, you know, even with some of the chances they missed or just opportunities that they created, Chelsea proved they can get in down the sides in transition.
You can do more
Chelsea
than that.
look good.
Can't you?
Liverpool can get at them.
Yeah, they can. It's going to be a really interesting open game. I honestly thought that the City I saw against Chelsea was probably one of the worst City performances I maybe have ever seen in the Pep era. They were like, I'm not taking anything away from you, but they just didn't. I'm not.
You are massively.
I'm
Chelsea
not.
were
They scored 4 goals, but yet they're the worst
Chelsea were
City
good, man.
ever in the Pep era. Are you?
No, they were
crazy?
poor
You didn't
against
listen to what I
Wolves.
said.
No,
I said
because
it's
what
one
you
of
said
the
is
poor-
wild.
It's one of the worst performances I've seen from them in the Pep era. It wasn't a City
doing too
performance
much.
I associate with them.
Did you see
They
them
were
against Wolves?
extremely. Yes, I did see them against Wolves, but for
thought they
me,
were worse, yeah.
in terms of just levels of quality, it was like a game of ping pong. Like, and I'm not taking anything away from Chelsea. I've said
I'm
multiple
not sure about
times
that.
how good you were that day, but we've moved on. This is not about you. I think that they were incredibly open. I haven't seen them be that open in a very, very long time. Defensively, I thought they were all over the place as well. I don't expect to see that again. I think that was, I would assume from a City perspective, that was a one-off. But I do think that Liverpool can do some serious damage. I think that this, as you said, have got goals all over it. I think at the minute I'm leaning towards a draw, but like a 2-2 or something like that, because I can't quite decide at the pair of you who it swings more towards.
Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. It is a shame that it's the 12:30. I thought this was the 5:30 before I looked at the fixtures. I couldn't believe that Newcastle Chelsea isn't on TV.
Newcastle always on TV.
I know.
Newcastle always on
Yeah, they
TV.
put the crap games
As soon
on
as we
TV.
play
Not
them,
your
no,
one.
not on
It's
TV
a
now.
great
The
game.
thing is with this fixture, right? Like, do you know, just talking about this right now genuinely makes my
Goosebumps.
heart rate go up. It makes me a bit nervous. It makes me a bit anxious. I can't imagine what some of them young players like the Machas and the Sposlars and the Gravenberchs, what they're going into this game. This is Manchester City. You're going to have the biggest game. We can go top of the league, lad. This is massive. So I'm worried about the pressure that they may feel. Having said that, Machas won a World Cup, so...
I don't think it's even about pressure. I think it's so early on.
Scary.
It's so early on in the season. Like,
It
it
is.
doesn't matter who goes top. I know things are starting to take a bit of shape, but again, I think once we get past Christmas into that Jan-Feb, that's when you really need to see who is top of the league at that point. But I really think that, you know, you've been playing well and you've been going so under the radar. And actually, to be honest, no one's really been talking about Liverpool
And
that
I'm glad
much.
about it, to be
And
honest.
that's the best
I don't
part.
get why they haven't. Liverpool
Yeah,
is
you just
too much.
get on with it, and everyone is talking about City or Arsenal or, you know, talking about Spurs being in some weird title challenge when we were never there. You know, that's what you want. You want to be going about your business and just being there or thereabouts. And it's going to be really interesting to see where your kind of new style Liverpool are at playing against City, because this is the first time we're going to see that midfield play against City.
This is like a 2017 first build for Jurgen
Yeah.
Klopp, where it was all attacking, and when we were like that, we beat City. We beat them all the time, but the problem was we couldn't manage the rest of the season because we didn't know how to manage football games, because we were always heavy metal football. We would always go at it, and it'd mean we would lose a game or two, or we'd draw or whatever else because we concede. And then Liverpool learned how to manage games and they got better, and that's how we eventually won the league. But this team is back to the regen. It's back to that heavy metal football, attack, score as many goals as you possibly can, and that's the only way I've ever seen Liverpool beat City. So if we can get anything, it is on Saturday. However, I'll still be happy with the draw. And I think Liverpool fans, you should be. Like, that should be a nice result away. If we beat them at Anfield, that's a good result. I think, no matter
Well,
who
you know,
it is.
Haaland could be missing as well. We don't know if he's...
No, he's going to be back.
You know,
he's
he's
gone.
usually
Why
back,
was
but he
that
didn't play for
ankle?
Norway.
But Virgil,
his ankle, yeah.
But Virgil, I'm not joking. Like,
Virgil does well
he
against
is
Haaland.
definitely right. Not bad. He's not the best defender in the world. Yeah, I'm not saying
That's 'cause
that.
Saliba
But
is.
he's definitely he's not. But He's definitely getting back
to
his best. Saliba hasn't won anything yet, so when he wins something and he proves in the pressure moments that he can do it, then he'll be the best. But he hasn't yet. But he's still phenomenal.
It's not the
he's still waiting to take that crown off Virgil. He hasn't quite got it yet. He's the prince. Virgil's still the king. But Virgil's getting back to his best, and I think Liverpool fans have seen it, lad. He is. He's starting to grow into the game again. His defensive partners following his lead. I genuinely like the way Virgil is looking this season. He's been strong, and what Matisse just said, just to echo it, does well against Haaland. He really does. And I don't know if you've ever seen Haaland's interview when he got asked about the hardest defender he's ever faced. Do you know what he said? Didn't say Saliba, lad, just so you know. He said,
did you not see what Saliba done to Haaland this season?
Did you see what Virgil van Dijk done when he was half a player and he still kept on quiet, lad?
Okay, right, let's get the predictions in then before we wrap up.
Before we go there, I just want to say this, Saliba is what Virgil used to be.
No, Saliba is growing into what Virgil used to be. He's not quite there yet.
But to go back, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all love.
It's all love, man. Listen, I'm really looking forward to this game. Shame it's got to be the hors d'oeuvre.
I agree.
As you said, the
Thank you
12th
for saying that, lad. Thank you. The hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, it's a hors d'oeuvre, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? You wanted that.
I've never heard of that saying.
What is that?
I love it though. It's the starter, lad. It's the starter.
You don't know what hors d'oeuvre means?
I'm going to posh restaurants, man. I don't
It's
know.
not posh.
It's like being served, lad, a Five Guys
You go
burger
to a restaurant
at 11
and you have
o'clock.
your starters.
Yeah.
That's the hors d'oeuvre.
That's what I'm saying. I just call it starter.
Nobody wants a full meal, do they, at 12:30, lads? You want a little bit of brekkie in there?
Exactly. But listen, I'm really looking forward to this game. As much as I'd love to say Liverpool go there and get a result, I can't look past City.
I know, lads.
City for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Score?
What score do you think?
What score?
There'll be goals. 2-1 Liverpool. Sorry, 2-1 City.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say 2-2. Yeah.
2-2.
3-2 City.
Oh, yeah, I can see that too.
Nice goal.
It's a high scoring
Nice
game.
scoreline.
Both teams can see chances.
Yeah.
Both teams got a lot of goal scorers.
Please, Liverpool.
goals.
Yeah,
Five
we all
goal thriller.
need you this weekend, lads.
goal
Please get this over the man.
Okay, the last super chats of the day. Nevid says Doku against Trent. Eyes. Exactly. I mean,
Fair play.
He still might even go Grealish after all that, but exactly, Doku against
Fair
Trent
play, lads,
is one. You know, Bernardo Silva, you got to keep him quiet. Who's going to be on Rodri? But Szoboszlai, same thing. Who's going to stop Mo Salah? You know what I'm saying? Is Gvardiol against Salah good? Because I'll tell you what,
plays a
Is it
midfielder
Kanji
next
sound?
to Rodri in this game.
Is
Please do not
Kanji
play the same midfielder
sound? Is he
played
sound?
against Chelsea.
Frankie Farsan says, in Salah's book, shoot,
sure.
score, Merry Christmas, he states he's better than Messi, as he had to play with Jordan Henderson. Your take on this, Doyle?
Nobody said. Salah did not say he was better than Messi.
Surely
man.
didn't
Come
say
on.
that. He didn't.
Everyone knows Messi's the best, but Salah is phenomenal. And
Yeah.
he's been one of the best Premier League wingers.
I don't think he gets
Always
he
scores
deserves.
against City as well.
He always does, yeah. And not just City, lads, right? He scores in every cup final. He scores in every big game. This man, it doesn't just score in the big games. He's not a Drogba. He scores consistently throughout the season.
I don't think he gets the credit he
respect
deserves.
on this man's name needs to be placed firmly,
Premier
lad.
League legend.
Yeah, he is. In my opinion, he is the greatest Premier League winger of all time.
Okay.
Well,
He
better than
genuinely is.
Henry.
No,
Better than Ronaldo?
So let me just say this. Yes, better than Ronaldo.
Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or, mate.
Don't care.
When he was the best player
Do
than
not
Ronaldo,
care,
mate.
lad. That Ballon
What do you
d'Or
mean?
does not count for
It does. It
anything,
means he was
lad.
the best player in the world.
All right,
while
so
he was there.
is Messi the best player in the world this season?
Yeah, that's why he won the Ballon d'Or.
He's not.
No.
Haaland was.
Don't go
No,
there.
Messi's better
Is
than him.
Messi?
Don't ask me about it. I'm not really hard.
Okay,
Messi's better than him.
Anyway, he is. And he doesn't get the
Messi will
respect.
probably
You
win
can't
that.
shut Messi out of no game. You can shut Haaland out of game.
Listen, Messi will
Messi's
probably
better
win
than
that
Haaland,
Ballon
still.
d'Or. Now he's playing in America, and that will really expose that.
Loads of people score
corrupt
more
that
goals
is.
than Messi. Don't mean they're better than him.
Salah's the best. Yeah, he is. I'm sorry. I can't. say
Haaland
another.
should have got that Ballon d'Or, let's be honest.
And then Ronnie after that.
All right, okay. Remember to download the Fair Play app. It's free to do it with your mates. It's so easy. DR Sports Special. We've got a special promo code for you. 1 goal, okay? Number 1 and all in capitals goal when signing up. Use that. And if a goal is scored, which we've all predicted will be, it's almost impossible for it to be a 0-0, he says, yeah? If a goal is scored in the Man City-Liverpool game, you'll be credited with £5 to your account. So easy. Users need to be 18 plus and gamble aware. Scan the QR code bottom left-hand side of the screen or click the link in the video description below. That has been the weekend preview. Hopefully, our teams get what we want. Well, not really, actually.
I just want to do a final battle cry before we leave, yeah? Just in case Dom, Jürgen, Trent, all of you lads are watching, yeah? We love you so much, and we are backing you for this weekend, yeah, because we can go top of the league where we belong again. Come on, the boys, up the Reds, we can do it. Yeah, battle cry, come on. And just before we go, yeah, just notice, yeah, I firmly support my team. I'll say it every single week. Every single one of these, they always forget to wear the colours because they're not as proud as we are to support you, okay? So do it for us. We love you.
Outright lie.
Where's your team? Where's your team?
This is why
no colours.
This is why Manchester City have to win. Just for that. Just for that battle cry.
Definitely.
Your oil brothers, lads, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Time
Doyle
for
with the
Manchester
rallying.
City.
Love you so much. It's behind the seat, doesn't count.
Laurie, big up to you, big up to Doyle, big up to Abby, big up to Matisse as usual, and we will see you guys on Monday for the weekend roundup and see what an interesting set of results it would have been by then. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Peace.
Say take care again.